Hello there, this is Ryan from Burley Bricks coming to you live from my obscene Lego room, and today we are talking about roads. Well, particularly the roads that I like to make. Years ago, I bought a bunch of Lego branded road plates that, they had like, a straight piece and then like a curved one. It was a two pack for I think $20 or $25, and then they had one that was straight piece and then an intersection, and that's great. But I bought a lot of those, so I just had like a bunch of curves and a lot of intersections and all that stuff, and I really just wanted straight ones with the occasional intersection. um so my builds initially were on 32 by 32 plates, but then I decided to upgrade to 48 by 48 plates, the large gray ones. And by doing that, I decided I'm going to have my builds on this plate as well as a road, a custom road that I'm going to make out of smooths. So I'm going to show you how I do my roads. Now, this is a 48 by 48 grade piece. I have it upside down because I'm going to do what they do in those cooking videos, where they talk about a step and then they magically pull out like the next part. Like these are the ingredients for the cake, and now I'm gonna pull out the it all mixed dough, and then now I'm gonna put it in the oven. Now it's essentially that's what I'm trying to do. Um, but it's upside down because I have stuff on the other side. So I start with the base plate, and then I will surround it by gray. So the sides are gray. And actually, I will put in, I didn't on this example, but I will put in those 1 by 2 gray pieces that have the holes in them. They use them in the modulars, and that's how you connect them. So I built those in hoping to connect them. I don't know if I ever will, but I had a lot of those pieces and it let me use them up. So, because I find that these plates are a little flimsy when you pick them up and there's a lot of weight, I didn't want them to bend. So I tried to elevate it up by one, if that makes sense. So it's a stiff board. And so in the center, I will fill it with like filler pieces I don't use, like 2 by 4s and things like that. So I will fill all of this up. And when I'm done, it will look like this. I'm putting my hand covering the next step. Um, and so the green again, I don't have any green space in my city at this point in time, so I try to use up the green in a filler type, like it's not going to be this color. I'm going to put more stuff on top of it. So I don't do the greens like in my city at all. It's just for filler. I'm sure there's some of you out there who are like, "Oh my God, like I'm planning on making all these soccer fields. How can you just bury these greens in a build?" Well, watch me. But they're so common anytime you buy a friend set or something like that that I'm sure I'll end up like I have so many of those like 6 by 6 curved green pieces. I have no idea what to do with them. Um, so yeah, so basically look like this, and then after, so this is going to be a corner piece, and I will have my road, and the intersection will be here, and then the road will continue along this way. So what I use in my road pieces is I alternate between smooth 1 by 4s, and sometimes I'll put a 1 by 8 in here just to sort of take up some space, and these um, black, like they're 1 by 4s, but they still have the stud here and here. You see them a lot in brickheads. So I will alternate those in here. And it's kind of dark, so you might not be able to see, but let me get it a little closer. And I will just continue this design all the way down until I get to about here. I have like particular measurements because I already have an intersection and I want them to match. I'll go over there and I'll kind of double check and compare it. I've actually decided to try something different with this intersection as opposed to the other ones, which I will get to. But basically, I just continue on this pattern And in the middle, that's wrong. I stuck that on wrong and I don't know. Every four, I will put a little white stripe. And this will continue along. And then in the actual intersection middle, I will use like 2x4, 4x4s and 2x4s of the smooths just to have the big block. Um, and so my roadways are about 7 studs wide. So the cars are small. And then this right here is actually going to be a middle divider that will wedge up against an adjacent road plate that will also have a divider. And I'm going to put some like vegetation in there. I'm planning on doing an elevated like monorail. I know. So that's where I will put like the studs, like the tall think about using these. I don't know what these are called. I have so many of them that I need to know what to I need a project for them, so I think I'm just going to use them to help with my elevated monorail, which is like way in the future. Way in the future. But you know, my city folks need transportation. So once this is done and this is done, I also will do another layer of bricks, like the regular bricks. Do I have them out? Oh, I do. Before I move on. This is my drawer that's just for 2x4s or the bricks. Usually I use them for filler, but for my sidewalks and things like that, I will use these. So I will put another layer of these around. So these get quite heavy, so that my build or whatever is going to be here. Maybe the burger shop might be on this one. I'm not sure. It's going to be elevated up one more. So the curb here, you will have the the Lego person would have to step down into the street. And then I also use I forget what these pieces are called. I'm seeing if I have an example handy. Oh, I do. They have like a little slate in here. They use them a lot for if you're doing like a sliding door, or Star Wars sets have them a lot where you can like shoot things out. I didn't really know what to do with them, but then I thought, hey, I'm gonna put them here in my city, recess it back one from the edge of the sidewalk, and then put grates here so it looks like a sewer, like how you see them built into the sidewalks, how they have like the little sewer. And Pennywise lives in there, you know what I mean? But so that's what I do, and it's a great way to use up these pieces that I probably would just bury in the floor if I didn't have a use for them. So I will usually do like two on one side and two on the other, and then I'll raise this up, put some more filler, and I will complete this. And when I'm done that, I will get. Are you ready for it? Ta-da! This. Ooh, it's quite dusty. How is this dusty? I literally did this yesterday. The blacks get so dirty. The black pieces, and yeah, so this is new. Well, this one's really dirty. Uh, I did not do this in my other intersections, which means I'm going to have to rip them all up and redo it because I really like this this design. I thought it just came to me. I know it's like it's a crosswalk. What's the big deal? But it came to me and I thought, you know what? That's really neat. I really like how it looks, and it also saves me a lot of these black pieces. So anywhere where I can, put in a stud or a different color smooth will then mean I have less black pieces to use. So because I have like 8 of these, they're not all going to be intersection. Actually, they might be now that I'm thinking about it. Oh my goodness, I'm just realizing all 8 of them now in my thought are these intersections. Seems almost like a waste, but they look cool. But anyway, so after I pillared all of this, I know these are nice pieces, but I have a lot of them and I have nothing really to any use for them. Um, I try not to use the colorful ones now because I find that people will buy those. It's so strange. I've had people ask me for these like on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me just rip up all my floors and my modulars and get them. But I'm like, why did I do? I don't know. But anyway, so I'll do this, and then I will take. It's so full, it's stuck. It's actually stuck. I have to take. The drawer is stuck. I should have removed it before I started this video. There we go. Great plates. Okay, so now usually I'll use the filler for the middle, but I'll try to put like gray plates along the border so when you look at them, it still looks like a consistent gray color and you don't see like a bright pink or something like that. So sometimes if I'm strapped for plates, I'll even put like one by one grays around here and then put like filler on the inside. But for this one, I wanted it to look somewhat nice. So yeah, so now I just fill fill this up with plates. Now, when I stick them down, I've seen people use like rubber mallets. Full disclosure, I put on my socks and I step on them and I just sort of shift my weight around on them and that gets them all nice and even. And what is on this? There's like coffee stains or something. This one's clean. But basically, I'm not going to stick them on. But when I'm done, maybe I'll use this as an example. Hmm, I do need a one by one. Not sure why I did that. Guess it doesn't quite work out the way it needs to be. So I will put a one by one. No, I don't. I don't like when you're sticking things on and they line up with the brick. Like I need it to be a little off so there's some structural integrity. So I'll put in a one by three just to get this sort of no, no. I always look for like the perfect piece. It's not perfect enough. Oh, that needs to be a two by two. Hmm. So sometimes I'll do these things and I'll think like, what was past Ryan thinking about when he did this? Doesn't make much sense. Look at that. Nope. Look at that. Hmm. Go here, and this will go. No. So because I do this little like corner section here, sometimes I need to get a little creative. But basically, that's the gist. Like I'll just cover that all up, and then from there, I will put on sidewalk pieces. So let me just stick this. So I'll just do like the two by two, and I usually go about six, six, six back. That's usually my like rule. And then I'll alternate in like pieces like that so that I can stick on like a bench or like a newspaper dispenser, something like that. Just thinking if I have one handy. I don't think so. But all those things are good little like bus stop signs, and I'll also throw in these ones too, just so that I have. I mean, you can make them completely smooth, obviously, if you really wanted to, and it looks nice. But if you want to have like your minifigures interacting with the space, then they will need something to stick on, right? Something to stand on. Um, but I'll do that here, oops, and here. Just imagine these are stuck down, and then this is how my plates look. This is what I start from. And then on top of that, I will build, my structures. So I have a video earlier on this channel of my comic book shop. No, it was my record store because I haven't finished the upstairs yet. But it's essentially this too, with the exception of the crosswalk, which I will modify and I'll do that. But they're all pretty symmetrical. I have this weird thing where I need everything to be like symmetrical. I don't like asymmetry. It bothers me. But basically, this is how it looks when it's done. Well, ignore this part, but just like a nice, smooth surface. Um, so yeah, so that's how I do my road plates. And let me know in the comments, how do you do yours? Or do you just buy Lego branded plates? That's what I did too, because they looked so great, but I just couldn't get them to work in my city. And they have little studs on the side that you can put sidewalks and things, but they just this way I can control how my builds look and not like if I made my builds on a standard plate, like would I have them go all the way up to the edge and then have the road plate? Like how do I get it to merge together, if that makes sense? So at least this way, I just make four of these identically, and I just put them all together, and they look like they go together. And then maybe I'll stick them together if I'm fully committed with the mediums here by maybe putting down like a 2x2 green plate to stick on both sides, and then put some vegetation in there. Because when you cross the street, there's usually like something like that in like the nicer areas. So yeah, so that's how I do my roads. And with that, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Ooh.